While we're on the topic of wine glasses, let's go and take a look at another issue, which is water. Water in glasses. So I'm going to make a very, very simple glass here. Very, very simple. And this came up on the Cheetah 3D forums a while back. So imagine this is a glass. I'm now going to just select these top polygons and delete them. And I'm going to apply a shell modifier to what's left. So there is our very, very boring glass. Okay. And we're going to make it out of glass. So we'll just go and say glass, and we'll put that there. In order for glass and any other transparent objects to really have an existence, they need to be in an environment with other stuff. So we're going to have to move that to, say, 0.5 position there. And we're going to need second environment. So I'm very quickly going to add HDRI and radiosity. We're going to detail there, radiosity over here. We're going to load faux HDRI setup, and we're going to set its power to 3 as per usual, and I'm just going to quickly render it. So there's our glass. We're getting some weird effect there, which is caused by the fact that the glass is overlapping the bottom, and that's getting to the nub of the matter. I'm just going to move it to 0.51. If we render that again, I believe we shouldn't have that problem. We might want to go and turn on detail detection for didn't help. Let's try that again. Glass and HDRI are in general, glass and radiosity are not friends. But anyway, there you have it, a very simple glass with nothing in it. Okay, so what we want to do is produce water that's exactly filling the glass. So I'm going to collapse this object here. What I want to do now is ring cut the glass. Click. All right, go back. Now what I want to do is ring cut this thing here and execute that, and I want to copy it. Actually, let me just duplicate the object. So copy and paste the object. So here's the first object. That's the glass. That's fine. I'll call it glass. And inside it, we've got liquid. LIQUID. All right. We'll put it in the glass hierarchically as well, so it's really clear what's going on. So I've got this selection. I'm going to invert the selection and delete it. So now we've just got this bit here. Oops. I don't know. Sometimes Cheetah 3D does that. Let me just shift click that and now delete. Okay. So we kept the. So if I select all, now I need to fill the top. So I fill whole. And now I need to invert everything because it's an interior, it needs to be an exterior. So I select all and I'm going to flip. So just go flip normal. Where is it? Flip normal. Okay. So we've got the glass and the liquid. And let's change the material of the liquid to some sort of whiskey color. So I'm just going to go copy paste. But we're going to go into here and we're going to change its color to sort of whiskey-ish. So that's, and drop that in there. Oops. Okay, so there's our glass, and we'll render it. Now, you'll notice that in this particular case, the glass and the liquid are exactly coincident. So the surface of the glass and the surface of the liquid are a disaster, and you just get this horrible set of artifacts. So we need to be either bigger or smaller than we ought to be. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to scale it by 0.99. So in other words, the common sense tells us that the liquid is slightly smaller than the space it inhabits. So let's make it 99% as big, and we'll see. Let's go and render this. And that looks better. And if we weren't using HDRI, if I throw away the HDRI setup, let's go and just put in an ordinary distant light, which will make things a bit simpler. So it's an ordinary distant light, and I'm just going to render it. So I'm not doing transparency very well. Let's go do ray trace plus transparency. I'll do it again. So here we are, and it's not causing any obvious problems. But what does liquid in a glass actually look like? That's an interesting question, isn't it? So if I go into my C3D book, go and look for let's have a. Here is a picture of a wine glass, and you'll see that the liquid appears to reach the edges of the glass. We know the glass has some kind of thickness. Maybe it's about here, but the water appears to go to the edge. That's not the effect that we're getting when we render this. So let's go back into here, and we'll change the scale to 1.01, which defies common sense. So the liquid is larger than the object containing it. And now we render it. And that's the result, which is actually what you want. And I took a bunch of photographs of liquid in glass, and that is exactly the result that you want. And you notice the shadow looks weird, and you can't get realistic shadows of objects unless you use caustics. So that's a whole other topic. But the actual appearance of the liquid in the glass is best. You get the correct result if you make the liquid slightly larger than the container. It removes the artifacts and it gets you the correct kind of rim line. I'll do it here. Oh, there's no boring background here. Let's if we add an HDRI back into it, do it again. HDRI. And we'll render that again. And there you are. You get the quite a realistic looking effect. So that is the story of wine in a glass, or liquid